What's going on, guys? Right, so we got a rehouse of the green bottle blue today. In this video I will repeatedly say we can't rehouse today, but you will see it in this video, so just heads up. But yeah, enjoy the video, leave a like if you enjoy it. We're going to be upgrading the green bottle blue tarantula today. Take a look at this new enclosure we got. It's a bit of an upgrade compared to the old plastic tub here, so I'm quite happy with that. And we've got a few bits and bobs inside which I'm quite fond of. So we're not going to be transferring the tarantula today because the substrate that I've got mixed is not dry yet, but we can at least get it set up. So we've got a bit of a plant and we've got this cool twig, sort of spindly root like thing here, which the tarantula will hopefully really enjoy. So I'm gonna pull this out. We're just gonna go ahead and do this on camera right now. I think we'll get a bit of soil down first off before we put anything in. So a bit chip shop. I've got myself a Coke bottle. I'm gonna use to chuck it in there. So this soil is not dry at the minute, which is no good for this species of tarantula. This species of tarantula prefers the soil to be bone dry. And so I thought I'd touch base on where this spider comes, well, what this tarantula comes from. So it comes from Venezuela, which is very dry. It likes the soil to be bone dry. It's absolutely fine with like room temperature, 20 degrees. And it tends to, I think, I've read online that it is a burrowing species, although I've never seen it burrow. It's always on the surface. They web a great deal, although it hasn't in its current enclosure. So they're prolific webbers, which is great because I think it looks really cool. And what this will effectively do is hopefully sort of simulate roots, which is typically where it would like to make its sort of home, and it would web up around this and give it loads of anchor points to actually web onto, which is great. So got a little bit of soil in the bottom now. Just spread that out a little bit. Do you want to come in, get a bit of a close-up on this? So there's a bit of a, we've got that in. Let's get this plant down. So this is a fake plant, obviously. So I think that will add another anchor point for the tarantula. I'm not too worried about the actual stone bit being visible. I'm quite happy for that to be submerged, and maybe it'll look a bit more realistic. I do want to give it some layers as well, I think. I want this really high. This bottle is, in my opinion, getting in my way. I'm going to just get hands on with it. Do you want to try and come around this side a bit? So I think hopefully it's going to be enough substrate, because I did envisage it coming right up quite high. Don't know if I need the plant a bit higher. You always think you've got enough substrate and then you realise you need more. This bucket looked like a hell of a lot of substrate initially. But yeah, this is still really damp. So this is, hopefully this is going to dry out. She's not going to go in here until this is bone dry. It's well ventilated, being an Exoterra. So we'll just have to see. Look, you can already see it misting up. I'm going to lift the plant for now. Substrate all over the joint. I'm just going to put that bloody line. It all compacts down, doesn't it? But there's a hell of a lot of substrate in there, so if it does choose to burrow, it's absolutely got that capability to do so. So pack it down. In fact, let's get that plant back in. So dig that out a bit, want it in this corner. Help if I put it in the right way round, sort of like that. Cool. Messy business. Right, let's get this back in here. Hopefully this will look as good as it did in my imagination. So that end first. So what I'm trying to do is sort of have an area underneath where it will hopefully consider it its home. And it will start to web up and hopefully create like tunnels, web tunnels, and live there. And if it wants to crawl on top, it can do so also, because these are semi-arboreal. They're not like tree dwelling, but they will leave the ground, you know. So it's pretty basic looking. I don't think it needs much more. I think they will typically web up and create their own home. But yeah, I think it looks really good. Just needs a bit of cleaning up on the edges, get all the dirt off the edges. Okay guys, so some time has passed. I've actually pulled this soil out and baked it in the oven to dry it because I'm being impatient basically. But it's all set up and ready to go. The substrate is much drier than it was. It's not bone dry, which is what this species would ideally want. But I think it's going to be happier in this new enclosure than it is in this one here. I think this is possibly drier than that substrate already is. So we're going to go ahead and try and make the transfer. I've got this little catch cup here. Could be tricky. I'm going to have to pull a few bits out of the enclosure to get this going. So let me show you where the tarantula's right in this corner. I don't know what its temperament is at this time. I know it's webbed itself in there to try and sort of, I don't know, stay away from anything in the tank. Crickets, me, whatever. But yeah, let's try and make this happen. So my main concern is that when I pull this cork bark back, that it's going to bolt right out of there. So you can sort of see it there. So I'll tell you what, if you come around this side, babe, stand there for me. You go over there. Just relax, it's fine. I'm just gonna...
Yeah, but can't you get the cup ready in case it bolts?
Try and stay calm, okay? Right.
So it's bolting this way if it comes.
No, it's fine. Right, okay, I just want to try and think about the best way to do this. I think the best thing to do is get this water out. I'm just going to take this out as well. Look at all this webbing it's done. That's all web. Well, moss and web.
Are you going to put that web in the other one, or?
I thought about that, maybe. That is much drier. Still a little moist, which is not ideal. Bloody messing on. Right. Okay. Right. Let's try and remove the cork bark. that web. That's kind of cool. Put some of that web in now. Looks in good nick to me. Right, I'll try not to freak out. So I've not fed it in a couple of weeks now, so okay, so it knows I'm not prey. What I kind of want it to do is to go down, and then I can place this over the top of it. But I've got a feeling it's going to feel very, very secure on its web. And now I'm wishing that these tweezers were longer. That's it, go down. That's it. It's been quite good for me. No hair kicking. It's moving. It's absolutely lovely looking. I think it's really going to like the new home a lot more. Alright, that is not ideal because we've got the hole right beneath it. Right, just a bit more. Come over here. Oh. See, this thing, it's just started kicking hairs. This thing can really move when it wants to. I need you to move onto the lid, mate. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. Sort of on the side of the cup, isn't it? Don't want to trap no legs. It's kicking its hairs a bit. That's fairly painless. And now, you're to go into your new home. I need you to go the right way.
Have you got the tweezers?
Let's get the tweezers. Can you see?
Sort of.
I'm being brave now.
You just don't want it to back up.
There you go. Look at that. It's kicking its ass, so be careful. Alright, cool. That was fairly straightforward. I was fairly nervous, but she was really good for me. A little bit of web in there. Don't want to expose her to too much light, but for the sake of the footage, you can see the colours. But I think this is going to be absolutely perfect for her. I'm hoping this is going to really encourage her to web up in here. I don't want to push me luck, but I want to put the water bowl in there as well. So that's it. I want you in further, if you don't mind. Go and have a little look around. It's going to tuck into the back by the looks of things. I'll tell you what, that's perfect. Right, where did I put the water bowl? Didn't even have to touch her. Maybe I should put the water bowl in when I get up there, to be honest, because I'll be shaking it about and I don't want it to get all over the soil. But I think that's a job well done there. Happy with that. Nice. That'll do.